All right. Welcome back to the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your boy E here on the mic. Just kind of reflect on what we talked about here. We talked about our WWE NXT review. We talked about our AEW Dynamite preview. We talked about uh, WWE PLEs, premium live events, making their way back to Sunday. If it's a good idea, if it's a bad idea, historically speaking, recently in terms of Saturday, pay-per-views in terms of WWE. It's a huge hit. I don't think they should change it at all. I'd be kind of pissed off to find out that WrestleMania isn't going to have, night one and night two anymore. So let's go ahead and, move on. We had our WWE pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia. So, like I said before, in the spirit of this, I kind of thought about this. I was like, all right, so we have, we have the King and Queen of the Ring tournament heading toward, Saudi Arabia coming up rapidly, coming up pretty quick. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first ever Saudi Arabia pay-per-view that came about was the greatest Royal Rumble ever. The greatest Royal Rumble ever. Obviously, for me, I feel like it really wasn't, but that's my opinion. That's my opinion. You saw Braun Strowman win the Battle Royal, winning a trophy and a championship. Cool. Like, that's awesome. Like, what else is there? I don't know. I thought, definitely something that doesn't really make sense. You saw Brock Lesnar retaining his Universal Championship against Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. I remember that. Like, I think Roman speared Brock Lesnar through the cage, and I think since Brock Lesnar was technically out of the cage first, he retained. It was really dumb. It was really stupid. Definitely, definitely something that could have been better done. And you saw The Undertaker defeat Rusev in a casket match. And then you saw the opening match between Triple H and John Cena. You just know it's kind of like it's kind of like a pandering to the crowd pay-per-view when you have Triple H against John Cena in the very, very first match and not the main event. So, definitely, obviously my opinion, you guys can disagree with me on this, but yeah. Next, we have Crown Jewel. Love this one. I absolutely love this. No, I really, honestly, it was terrible. Crown Jewel in 2018, the inaugural Crown Jewel premium live event in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. You saw AJ Styles defeat Samoa Joe to retain the WWE Championship. You saw Brock Lesnar defeat Braun Strowman to win the Universal Championship. And then you saw DX against Kane and The Undertaker, which was. God, it's just you know what? Honestly, if this pay-per-view is on what is this? Not yeah, Peacock. It's on Peacock. I want you guys to go ahead and watch this match tonight. You guys have homework tonight. Watch this match tonight and just basically tell me how awful it is. I'm just kidding. No, like it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Surrounding this event, there was plenty of controversy. The killing of Jamal Khashoggi, the accusation of Saudi Arabia being, for basically violating human rights and abusing people, and also leading the attribution to Yemen. So there was a lot of controversy. A lot of WWE definitely took a lot of heat, performing this pay-per-view. I don't, obviously it's news, it's, allegations, it's, this and that and the other. But it was also part of the wrestlers too. Part of the wrestlers, you had Daniel Bryan, you had Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, you had John Cena that absolutely refused to wrestle in Saudi Arabia because of these allegations. So obviously something that, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad when it started. Um, like I said, many of the top superstars did not want to do it. It had a lot of negative reviews, and honestly, it was pretty bad. You have the Universal Championship, which was a lux. You have the World Cup final, which was absolutely predictable and terrible and poorly presented, poorly administrated, and poorly, kind of delegated at the end, where oh, guess what? You won a trophy? Yeah! Like, and then most importantly, it was the Brothers of Destruction against D-Generation X, which was terrible, man. Oh God, it kind of, for me, watching that match, it kind of made me a little sad. It honestly, really honestly made me a little sad because I was like, all right, great. Like I'm watching my childhood heroes come out here as old guys, and they don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. They don't have to do that. They just basically came out here to kind of entertain these WWE fans from Saudi Arabia, which is cool. 1,010%, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. But it's to the point where sometimes it just seemed forced. It just seemed didn't seem relevant. Didn't really seem natural. And you saw botched moves happen here. I thought somebody was going to break a neck or a hip. So definitely one of the worst pay-per-views I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, next we have Super Showdown. Super Showdown in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. You saw The Undertaker defeating Goldberg. You saw Seth Rollins defeating Baron Corbin for the Universal Championship. You saw Shane McMahon defeat Roman Reigns. Randy Orton defeated Triple H, which was Triple H's last match because of a cardiac event that happened in his life that he was like, you know what, I got to take a step away from wrestling, guys. I'm out. Next, we saw WWE largest battle royal, 51 people. It was won by Mansoor, obviously a descent from Saudi Arabia. And you saw there was supposed to be a women's match that would have happened on this Super Showdown. But due to limited women's rights in Saudi Arabia, all female wrestlers were banned from fighting in ring competition. WWE wanted to add Alexa Bliss against Natalia, but the match was ultimately rejected by the Saudi Arabian government. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy how, that all kind of, comes to, fruition. But yeah. So kind of moving on. I swear to God, guys, it gets, gets better. So we have Crown Jewel 2021. After the pandemic, you saw the first, Saudi Arabia pay-per-view happening. Yeah. Definitely, you saw the King of the Ring, the inaugural Queen of the Ring, happen here. So women were eventually able to wrestle. Roman Reigns defeated Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship. You saw Becky defeat Sasha Banks and Belair to retain her WWE SmackDown Women's Champion. You saw Big E defeat Drew McIntyre to retain his WWE Championship. You also saw Selena Vega and Xavier Woods crowned as the King and Queen of the Ring. You saw Edge and Seth Rollins fighting in a Hell in a Cell match, and to be honest, it was good. This, it's getting slightly better. In 2021, they kind of made their way up. They kind of, put a lot of good matches, brought back the King and Queen of the Ring, and well, it was the inaugural Queen of the Ring, so it was getting better. Next, we have Crown Jewel 2022. We have Roman Reigns against the YouTube star Logan Paul versus the Undisputed Championship. It was a good match. It was actually a pretty good match. These guys pushed each other to the limits. Both very talented individuals, but yeah, Roman Reigns was able to come out the victor. Next, we have Braun Strowman defeating Almost Damage Control Dakota Kai, and Io Sky wins the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. And Bianca Belair defeated Bayley in the last women's standing match to retain her Raw Women's Championship. So women were eventually they were able to kind of, showcase their skills. They were able to, kind of show like, all right, like we're badass too, basically. We're badass too. So, kind of capping off this last segment, we're viciously running out of time. It's not a champion. It's not a champions. Where Roman Reigns, in his 1000th day as undisputed champion, Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns fought Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to try to, reclaim the WWE undisputed tag team titles that the Usos lost in WrestleMania 39. Wasn't able to do so. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens got the win. Seth Rollins defeated AJ Styles to become the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. Next, you saw Brock Lesnar via submission defeat Cody Rhodes. And you saw Asuka defeating Bianca Belair, ending her title reign at 420 days. Pretty impressive, pretty awesome. Definitely, kind of saw some bad Saudi Arabia pay-per-views, but ultimately, I feel like WWE is making a step toward the right direction. Definitely under the Paul Levesque era. I feel like this. I'm going to go ahead and guarantee you that this is going to be the best WWE event in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia ever. Ever. So, yeah, I feel like that's coming. Kind of touch on it real quick before, time runs out. I want to, we have our wrestling top champion eliminator where I kind of compiled all the champions from AEW, New Japan for you guys will see. So, hey, stay tuned.